What is up, everyone? Welcome to another lesson of the full-time GoDev program, the hotel reservation series. And basically, before we start, I wanna say to you guys that if you think that we are skipping stuff, do not worry about that, right? Do not worry about that. I'm basically trying to bootstrap the whole project in a way so we can keep triggering our reward levels and keep injecting ourselves with dopamine. It's very important. It's something, if you build a project, the biggest mistake a lot of people make is to try to pinpoint every detail from the beginning. And that's something, it's a very bad practice, right? It's wrong in a lot of things, because if you make a project, you cannot always be sure directly if your implementation is going to be finite. You know what I mean? You're gonna see that throughout the whole course, throughout the whole program, that we are implementing stuff, and as we go, we are modifying and refactoring stuff bit by bit, because maybe it's outscaling. The implementation we did is basically the project is outscaling our implementation, if you know what I mean. It's a very important aspect, so don't worry if you think, hey, but we're missing some tests or we're missing this or that. No worries, we are going to cover that for sure. So basically what I want to show you real quick, what I want to do today in this lesson is basically, let's open up. So we're going to have something that is called our hotel handler. Let's go back to this one, and we have something here. So we have this hotel query params, right? So I'm going to diss this thing because we're not going to use it. We're going to make some filters later on. So we can actually filter. I'm going to teach you how to make these filters so we can, the front end can basically filter based on the rating and based on the room type and all that stuff. So we're going to delete that stuff here. Hotel query params, we don't need it anymore. This query parser also, we don't need this anymore. So basically, the handle get hotels, very simple. We are going to get the hotels and list them out. And if we make a run here, and let me open up this new request. I think it's this one. Let me show it here. Boom, just like this. So we have these, let's send. So you're going to see we have these hotels here, right? And with our API v1 hotel, the thing is that these rooms are IDs, right? And I think that's fine. So the front end, if they're going to list hotels, the front end can actually choose which can basically fetch all the rooms, but we're going to make it a little bit better. So what we're going to do as follows is we are going to make an API we're going to we're going to implement something where we're going to say get API v1 hotel. Then we're going to pass in the hotel ID, which is going to be some random stuff. And then we're going to say rooms. And that will show all the rooms for a specific hotel. I think that's the play. That's the angle. That's what we're going to implement right now. So, let's get started. Let me open up this one, close this, boom. So how it's going to work? We are going to say func h hotel handler handle get rooms, and we're going to say C is going to be a fiber CTX here, an error as usual. So we're going to have an ID. Each time we're going to handle get rooms from our hotel handler, we are going to say something like the ID is going to be ID. C context, not context, C params, ID. And let's return nil real quick, actually, to be honest. So basically, we need to have something in our storage, I think, where we can fetch, let me quickly think, or we could do things, or we basically attach to our hotel storage get rooms, or we attach that based on the rooms storage, right? Where we're gonna say, give me all the rooms with a query. So that's a bit of a thing. I think personally it's going to be the same thing. I think we should do it at rooms. So if you open up room store, both options can be fine. At the room store, what we could do is basically insert room. We don't have anything to fetch the rooms. So we could make it, or we could do something like that. Get room, get rooms by hotel ID, right? That's something we could do. But you could also just do something like get rooms, a more generic thing, and then we're gonna have a query or a filter attached to that. So I think that's better. So we're gonna say get rooms based on context. We're gonna give this a filter, which is going to be actually a bsum_m, and we're gonna return a slice of types room, and of course an error. I think that's going to be the play. So let's implement that thing. Let's copy this, boom. We're gonna have a slice here, that's fine. We don't need this. There's going to be a filter, which is going to be a bsum.m, right? And this is going to be get rooms. All right, so how it's going to work? I think we have a filter, that's fine. So I think we could do something like the response error is going to be as call find many probably, or find, it will be find ctx, and I think we could do a filter like that. If the error is not null, the mic, yeah, then we're basically going to return a null and the error. Otherwise, I think we need to decode that. We're going to say var rooms is a slice of types room. And then we're going to say if r is going to be response all and rooms, and the error is also not null, then we're going to return null, no rooms, but the error. Yes. And then we are going to return the rooms and no error, right? Nil, that should be nil, my bad. Boom. Not enough arguments to call. I think this also needs a ctx, by the way. And this should be rooms. Okay. Is this gonna work? We have no clue. If this filter is it will depend on the how we actually set up the filter, right? So we're going to back to our hotel handler. Like that. All right, so we have this ID. It's important because we are going to fetch a room. So we're going to say rooms. R is going to be, first of all, let's make a filter, right? So we're going to say filter is going to be a bsum.m. And I think we could do something like, wait, this should be a primitive object ID, I guess. So where do we do that? I think it's in a user handler. Let's open that up. Because remember that we're going to have an ID and that's going to be a string, but we need to have that as a primitive, right? So we're going to say it like this. We're going to copy this and paste that in here. And then we're going to say an OID here. Yeah, and that should be, so we are room ID probably. Hotel ID, because we're going to get the rooms, right? So we're going to say hotel ID. This should be ID, by the way. Yep. Hotel ID. And then we're going to say that the rooms, R is going to be hotel handler, the room store, get rooms, based on the context of fiber, right? C context, and then we are going to pass in this filter. And if the error is not null, we go and return the error, of course, and otherwise we could say return C JSON. and the filter, not the filter, what I'm doing, the rooms. I have no clue. So basically, let's go back to main because we need to update our route here. What's going on? So we're going to say API v1. It's going to be a GET request, and that's going to be hotel / ID rooms. And that's going to be the hotel handler. Hotel handler gets handle get rooms. Handle get rooms. Yes. Make run. Let me see if that's going to work. Crazy sounds. Where is my VS Code? Yeah, here it is. So, okay, now let's first list out these hotels. Let's list out all these hotels. Let's get these this ID here. I'm gonna It's crazy. Something is making so much noise here. It's. I think I really need to replace my PC. Yeah, so we have this hotel here. Then we're gonna copy this sending plot. That's crazy. That's something we don't need. I cannot even copy these things. It's so annoying. That's really annoying. Let's copy this. Control C. Yes, that's what we need. So let's try that. And then we need to do rooms also, right? Rooms, just like this, and then send this. You see, now we have these rooms. That's actually nice, right? So it's actually working pretty fine. This computer, man, guys, I'm so sorry. I really hope you don't have any problems with the sound of the computer. I'm gonna check it out. So this is gonna work pretty fine. So we have these hotels listed up right here, and that's basically hotel ID of the hotel / room. So now we have all the rooms for a specific hotel, right? Because these IDs are going to be the same. Yes. So that's fine. That's cool. That's actually very interesting. So what I want to do also basically is I want to do some refactorings inside of this room. Let me open up room. We don't have a types, right? It's in hotel probably, right? Yeah. Here it is. So we have a hotel, name, location, rooms, rating. But I want to basically... This is fine. This rating is fine. I also want to... These room types, I don't really like these room types. It's cool that we have them. But I think for filtering, if we're going to filter these rooms, we need to do it a little bit better. So I think we could do something like... how could we fix that? Instead of a type, we could do something like seaside. It's going to be a bool. What's going on here? Let's delete this. Paste. Be some seaside. Seaside like that. That's fine. The base price, we don't care about that. It's going to be a price like that. The room type, let's make a size of the room. It's going to be a string. I think it's a little bit better basically to filter it on later on, because we're going to make a filter. It's important. So users on the front end can basically select and query some rooms based on how it's a double room, it's a king size room, does it have seaside room, and the price and all that stuff. So we're going to say this is going to be size, and this is going to be size. The room type, we don't actually care about that anymore. Seaside price, maybe some reviews, but that's something we could consider later on. I'm thinking what could be some good attributes from a room, right? So we have the size of a room, and we could say, for example, this could be a small, medium, actually small, normal, or king size or something. You know what I mean? Because it's much easier to filter as a front end on these things, right? If you have an integer to filter on, it doesn't really make any good sense. So we're gonna delete this room type, and I think that's fine. So but we're gonna have some problems now. I think we go into seeds probably. Have these things up so we don't have these types anymore. So let's say it's going to be the size, and that's going to be, what's going on? Let's make this a small room. Let's copy this, paste that in. Let's make this a normal room, right? And let's make that, because this base price, we don't have it anymore. It's going to be price, and this is going to be, for example, a king size, right? Maybe we're going to also have large. We don't know. This is a problem because this is normal. Let's delete the price 122 here, and let's make this one to something like that. It's going to be a little bit more expensive. Can we make seed here real quick? Yes, that's fine. So I think everything should be cool. Yes, I think that's fine. So let's make a run and let's test that real quick here. Let's do, first of all, this, delete that, send that. So now we have all this stuff. Let's copy this ID because it's changed, because I reseeded the database, right? So let's do this. We're going to say boom, rooms, send, boom. Yeah, so small, right now we can actually filter on these things. That would be nice to do later on. So that's that. The next thing I want to do, because right now we're going to set things up for a little bit more scaling in the future, because I think our database is a little bit scuffed, in my opinion here. Let me open up, for example, this hotel handler. Right? Like I said, we're going to refactor stuff bit by bit, because this is going to shoot us in the foot with all these storages here. So what I think that we're going to do is, if you open up DB, you could make something, a type database, a DB, or a store itself maybe. db.store, that's fine. Let's make it a struct. What I'm going to do is close this so it's on this screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically get all the databases encapsulated in this one, because all the storages we have, we're going to put them inside of this main store, because otherwise, if you go to main, what's going on here? Wait, that's fine. Let's kill this. Let's open up main. And the reason why we're going to do this is because look at this, right? So each time we're going to create a hotel store, we're going to have a hotel handler. We need to insert the hotel store and the room store. And I think it's a little bit, if we have like 10 different storages, it's going to be nasty, right? So I think we could refactor that a little bit. So let's open up DB. So we're going to say the user store. Maybe we could do US or something. What do you think? Or maybe user, store, user. That's going to be a user store. Then we're going to have a hotel. It's going to be a hotel store. And then we're going to have a room. It's going to be a room store. Something like that. Yeah, we could make a constructor, but I don't think it makes any sense to do that. I think we could do something like, if we go to main here, we could do something, wait. First of all, I'm going to open up this hotel handler to show you, like this. We have this hotel handler. It's going to be hotel HS, yeah. So what we're going to do is, instead of doing these hotel store and room store, we're going to say it's going to have a store, and that's going to be a db.store. And maybe we could do a pointer to that. Right, a pointer to a db.store. You could say, why is that not an interface? But it doesn't really matter, because all the underlying fields are interfaces, so it doesn't really make any sense to make store also an interface, right? You could make it an interface and then embed all these different hotel store, room store, user store into it, but it's a little bit of waste of time, right? So hotel handler is this, we're gonna do that. So now we have one store. So what we're gonna do now is instead of doing this, we're gonna say the store is going to be a db.store, it's gonna be a pointer by the way, db store, right? So we're gonna say store is going to be store. Of course, we're going to have some problems because right now we're going to say h.roomStore get rooms. In this case, going to be h.store.rooms.room.get rooms, I think. Hotel, by the way. You see? h.hotel in the finds. Yeah, that's a problem because we need to make this a little bit public instead of private. So let's go back to DB here. You see this, we're going to say user, hotel, room. Go back to hotel handler, right? And now we're going to say h.store.hotel.getRooms. That makes a lot of sense. You could also make it hotels. Depends what you want, right? But now we need to do this. Damn, we fucked. What is going on here? Get rooms, why is it not? What is going on? I think we made a mistake. Hotel, room. Yeah. Do we have... Wait, I think we did... It should be a room store, by the way. Are we confused? I think we are. Handle like this. It's gonna be rooms, by the way. Yeah, that's it. And then here, it's going to be H hotel store. It's going to be store. That's going to be an hotel, right? That's going to be the hotel. And let's get the hotels. That's fine. Okay, I think we set up here. Now we go to main. And now we are going to make it a little better. We're going to have a hotel store, which is going to be this. We're going to have a room store, which is going to have this. Of course, the dependencies of the storage itself, that's something we need to deal with, right? That's something we need to deal with, because otherwise, if we don't do that, it could be a little bit easier to encapsulate everything into a single struct, and then we don't need to handle these dependencies. But hey, it's here is going to be different, right? So first of all, we're going to make the store. So we're going to say store is going to be ndb.store, and then we're going to say that the room store, wait, it's going to be db store, right? That's going to be that. Hotel. Something is wrong. I don't know what it is. Oh yeah, I see. I'm making a big mistake here. It's going to be this one. Declare not used. That's fine. We're going to say a room. It's going to be the room store. And if we really want, what we could do is make the user store. Also, it's going to be db.new user store client. And for now, we have no dependencies with this user store, right? Not enough arguments. Is that true? What do we need more for user store then? Oh yeah, it's the DB name, which we actually going to diss out, right? So we're going to delete that. Let's refactor this. Okay, this is going to be the DB name. Remember that, this global variable we had. DB name, because we are in DB. What's going on here? Main. Hotel store, room store. Yeah. Room. And then we're going to say user, and that's going to be the user store here. And then we're going to say that the hotel handler is going to get the storage like this. And now we have that. What's going on here? User handler. Oh, yeah, I see. The user handler does not need to have this DB here. And we're going to refactor the user handler at the same way we did it here later on. So let's make... this is going to be the user store here. So what we're going to do is make the user handler here We are not going to create a new Mongo user store because we already have the user store here. And later on, we're also going to make the user store dependent on the store instead of the user handler dependent on the storage instead of the user store. That makes sense. Maybe it's a little bit complex, but bear with me. It's just a way of architecture things a little bit. So that's that. Can we actually do a make run without being in troubles? I think it is. Let me open up again our request here. Let's send. That's worked pretty fine. So if we take the hotel itself, we send it, boom. Cannot get, that's a problem, right? Oh yeah, we don't have implemented that. If you do this, it's gonna work. So let's implement our last thingy. I think, are we going to implement update for hotels? We could. But I think the main focus of this, backend is basically the reservations and all that stuff, right? Like I said, if you really want to do that, maybe we could do that in some later episodes where we finish the whole shebang up. But I think we have a lot of examples already for you guys to implement these update things, which we actually maybe not going to use in our project right now, right? Let me know what you guys want. Otherwise, later on in the series, we're going to update and make this all work just fine. So what we don't have here is we have list hotels. We don't have this, right? Hotel/ID. We don't have this. That's going to be handle get, and that's going to be handle get hotel. We don't have that. That's no problem because we're going to implement that. Boom, just like that. We're going to say handle get hotels. We're going to copy this function like this, paste that in, handle get hotel. Just like that. Then we are going to basically fetch the ID. You see what I'm doing? I'm basically grabbing stuff from what we already did, paste this ID in, just like that. Then we're going to say that the hotel is going to be h store hotel get hotel by ID. See context, and we're going to give the ID, which is going to be the OID, probably something like that. And then we are going to return that hotel. The storage doesn't have that, right? That's no problem. Let's implement that. This is going to be get hotels, and we are going to do this. Boom, boom. Get hotel by ID. We don't need a filter. Actually, we could do it with a filter, but let's make it simple. It's going to be ID. I'm going to make this a primitive object ID, by the way. So we're going to say find one. I'm going to say bsum.m underscore ID is going to be this ID here. Again, we could do decode. Types hotel. If the add is not null, this is going to be an hotel only. Let's make this interface. Let's copy this, paste it in. Hotel is going to be an ID. Yeah, just like that. I think we did it a little bit different in user, by the way. We're going to find this here. We don't need this. We're going to return this hotel. We cannot use that because we need to. Because this hotel basically is just a value, but we're going to make it a pointer by doing this. And now I'm going to open up the hotel handler. Boom. We cannot do that probably. Get hotel by ID. Did we make a mistake? Oh yeah. We did. Let's open up the handle once again. It's going to work fine. I think you could do a make run and see if this already is going to work. This is perfectly fine. So let's copy this ID actually. Copy, and then we're going to say paste that in, press enter, and yeah, we have the Barusia rating 3, right? working pretty fine. So if we go back here to another hotel, boom, let's take this guy here. I need to copy it with my Control-C because otherwise it's not going to work for some fucking reason. Nobody knows. Paste that in, and let's go to the hotel. Easy. So let's say we make an error here, boom, and then we say the provided hex string is not a valid object ID. So yeah, but the errors, it's going to be a series, an episode at itself, where we are going to make our custom errors here, right? So what did we do today? We did a little bit of refactoring. We made our database a little bit better, so we encapsulated everything into one struct, which consists out of interfaces, which is good. We basically have a way to list hotels, we have a way to list the rooms of an hotel, and we have a way to get an hotel by ID. With our API, I think the next thing we're going to do is do user... We could do a lot of things. There's a lot of work still to be done, right? The thing is, where do we... Now we have a good idea, and I hope you guys now have a good idea how to use... how to set up these APIs, how to list, how to get things, how to organize your database and all that stuff inside of your handlers. A very important thing. So that's good. The next thing we could do is probably authenticating users with GWT, because we're going to use that so we can book reservations for a specific hotel. Or we could also start, what I'm going to learn you is using these filters to filter out these hotels. That's maybe something we could do. Let's see you in the next video. Peace.